Imagine signing up for the military and then voluntarily choosing the job that has over an 80% washout rate. The jobs where sleep is optional, pain is expected, and quitting is something you'll think about every single day. Today, we're counting down the hardest military jobs from every single branch. And trust me, number one makes Navy SEAL training look easy. Before we start, this list isn't based on popularity, it's based on the physical demands, mental toughness, length of training, failure rates, and what these men and women actually do once they graduate. Let's get into it. People don't usually think about the Coast Guard when talking about elite military jobs. That changes today. Meet the Coast Guard rescue swimmer. These are the people who jump out of helicopters, into hurricanes, massive ocean waves, and freezing water just to save complete strangers. While everyone else is trying to escape the storm, they're flying directly into it. One mistake, one giant wave, or one tangled rescue line can turn the rescuer into the victim. Training pushes candidates to complete long-distance swims, underwater confidence drills, survival exercises, and rescue scenarios while exhausted. Many never make it through. Here's something crazy. Sometimes rescue swimmers have to rescue multiple people, while the helicopter can only hoist one person at a time. That means making impossible decisions under pressure, knowing every second counts. Think the Space Force just sits behind computers? Think again. Modern warfare doesn't start on the battlefield anymore. It starts in space, GPS, military communications, missile warning systems, reconnaissance satellites, all depend on assets orbiting Earth. Orbital warfare specialists monitor those systems 24 hours a day. They're responsible for detecting threats from enemy satellites, electronic warfare, cyber attacks, and even anti-satellite weapons. If they fail, entire military operations across the world can lose navigation, communication, or early missile warning. No pressure. Unlike the physically demanding jobs on this list, the challenge here is mental. One mistake could affect thousands of troops. Coming up, the Marine Corps job that pushes recruits so hard, many experienced Marines refuse to even attempt it. And later, the Air Force career with one of the highest failure rates in the entire U.S. military. You don't want to miss this. So far, we've covered the Coast Guard rescue swimmer and the Space Force's orbital warfare specialists. But now we're getting into the branches that most people think of when they hear the word military. And trust me, this is where things get absolutely brutal. When people think of elite Marines, most immediately think of Force Recon. These Marines operate far ahead of friendly forces, sometimes miles behind enemy lines, with little to no backup. Their mission? Gather intelligence, scout enemy positions, direct airstrikes, and survive long enough to make it home. Force Recon candidates already have to be exceptional Marines before they're even considered. Then comes additional training. Long-distance ruck marches, combat diving, parachuting, mountain warfare, advanced reconnaissance, close-quarters combat, survival training, and constant physical punishment. The hardest part? You're expected to stay completely undetected, because once you're discovered, the mission has already gone wrong. Here's something most people don't realize. Force Recon Marines often carry packs weighing over 100 pounds while hiking for miles, sometimes with little food and almost no sleep. That's not a workout. That's just another day on the mission. Now we move to one of the toughest military careers, period. Air Force Pararescuemen, better known as PJs, have one simple motto: that others may live. They're the people sent into places nobody else can reach. Mountain rescues, combat zones, open ocean. Jungles, natural disasters. If someone needs saving, the PJs are often the ones going in. Getting there is the hard part. Candidates spend nearly 2 years completing one of the longest special operations training pipelines in the military. That includes combat diving, military freefall, paramedic school, survival training, advanced weapons, helicopter operations, and rescue techniques. Every skill has to be mastered because when a PJ reaches someone, failure isn't an option. Lives literally depend on them. Some PJ candidates spend nearly 2 years just learning their job, and that's before they ever deploy. Imagine training for hundreds, sometimes thousands, of hours before your first real mission. We've reached the final two branches, and if you think the toughest Marine or Air Force jobs are impossible, just wait until you hear what soldiers and sailors have to survive. The number one spot has a reputation that even elite operators respect. We've made it to the final two branches, the Army and the Navy. Both have some of the most. Both have some of the most respected special operations forces on Earth. But which one has the tougher job? Let's find out. The Army is the largest branch of the U.S. military, which means it has no shortage of demanding jobs, but one stands above the rest: the Army Ranger. These aren't just highly trained soldiers, they're expected to deploy anywhere in the world with almost no notice. One day you're training, the next, you could be boarding a plane into a combat zone. Before earning the Tan Beret, candidates must complete the grueling Ranger Assessment and Selection Program known as RASP, and that's only the beginning. Once assigned, Rangers continue training constantly: airborne operations, night raids, long-distance ruck marches, urban combat, marksmanship, medical skills, explosives, fast rope insertions. Every mission demands speed, precision, and teamwork. Their motto says it all: Rangers lead the way. Here's something wild: Army Rangers can go from normal training to deploying across the globe in an incredibly short amount of time. That constant readiness is one of the reasons they're considered among the best light infantry units in the world. When most people hear hardest military job, one name immediately comes to mind: the Navy SEAL, and for good reason. SEAL stands for Sea, Air, and Land, meaning they're expected to fight in virtually any environment on Earth, but becoming one is where legends are made. Candidates first face BUD/S, Basic Underwater Demolition/SEAL Training. This is where one of the most infamous events in military history takes place: Hell Week, 5.5 days of almost nonstop physical training, thousands of calories burned every day, very little sleep, cold water, soft sand, heavy logs, boat carries, and constant mental pressure. Many arrive believing they're prepared, many leave ringing the bell. Those who finish still aren't done. Advanced training continues for months before earning the coveted trident. But here's the thing: just because the Navy SEAL is the most famous, does that automatically make it the hardest? Not necessarily, because every single job on this list demands a different kind of toughness. And in just a moment, I'll tell you which one I personally think deserves the title and why. So, which military job is actually the hardest? The truth is, there isn't one perfect answer. If you're talking about surviving brutal physical punishment, Navy SEAL candidates endure one of the toughest selection pipelines in the world. If you're talking about rescuing people in impossible conditions, Coast Guard. Rescue swimmers and Air Force pararescuemen put their lives on the line every single mission. If you're talking about operating deep behind enemy lines, Force Recon Marines and Army Rangers are among the best on the planet. And if you're talking about protecting the systems modern warfare depends on, Space Force Guardians carry an entirely different kind of responsibility. Every one of these careers demands extraordinary discipline, teamwork, and sacrifice. They're different missions, but they all require exceptional people. No matter which branch someone serves in, every military career requires commitment. The people in these roles spend months, sometimes years, preparing for missions most of us will never experience. Many spend holidays away from family, some deploy overseas for long periods, others respond to natural disasters, combat, or life-threatening rescues. Whether they're on the front lines, in the air, at sea, or supporting critical operations behind the scenes, their service deserves respect. Now it's your turn. Which job do you think deserves the title of the hardest? Did we miss one that belongs on the list? Maybe Army Special Forces, Marine Raiders, Combat Controllers, or another role entirely? Drop your opinion in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more military rankings, aviation videos, and behind-the-scenes content. And if there's another military topic you'd like us to cover, leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.